Hey, everybody, it's the coach. You're tuned in to Sunday Night Football on EA Sports. Up next, we've got a good one on tap between the visiting Arizona Cardinals and the Dallas Cowboys. I'll join you again at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from earlier this afternoon. But for now, it's Sunday Night Football. And on the call, as always, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Lone Star State and the very mammoth AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Arizona Cardinals and the Dallas Cowboys. Hello again, everyone. I'm Brandon Godden, joined as always by Charles Davis. And Charles, you take a look at this Cowboy team entering play. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Cardinals here, it's been a great start to the season. Back-to-back wins to begin the campaign.
Yeah, you don't want to get too excited. There's still a lot of season to go, but they've come out playing good fundamental football, and that might carry them a long way.
Now they try the right side here. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know, you know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing room to run. But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
No, bottled up, fumble. It's out, it's loose.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. A couple of nice carries back-to-back here, establishing the ground game a bit.
Yeah, these aren't bare-bones runs now. I mean, they're getting substantial yardage, the kind of yards you're looking for, right? Let's go ahead and use a cliche. Stay ahead of the change, right? 5 or more yards each time. That's what you're looking for in setting a tone and getting your offensive line going.
Good sign on the opening drive. He was locked in. 2 trips to the end zone, Charles, over 100 yards receiving.
How about the combination of route running, confidence going downfield, and the ability to go up and get the football? You're exactly right. It was hard for them to stop him.
Now a handoff looking right. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 40. Now back to throw. Dancing to his left. There he goes inside the 30. And he'll be taken down at the 26. A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A first down, a 16-yard gain.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
Now they try the right side here. Now he opts for the spin. So a loss of 5, and it'll be second down.
That's just running the ball 101 because too much east-west, not enough north-south. Got to get upfield, don't you?
They just kept stringing him out before he knew it. He had hit the sideline. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And fights through one man. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. He turned that into a nice gain, gets him 8 yards closer for third down.
Well, it looked like a quick hitter, a 3-step drop, but when it's not there, what do? He elects to try and escape through the massive bodies up the middle, and he does so and picks up positive yardage.
Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. That's a throw he'd like to have back. Now fourth down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle, right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like
Come
that
on.
one?
What does that mean, break out? Just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that part. I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Prescott now. Got an open man. It's Michael Gallup. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down.
All that practice time came to fruition on that play. All those timing routes that they work on through training camp, OTAs, mini camp, and just regular season, they got it done on that one. An outcut, ball was delivered, and picked up the completion.
We're back to Arlington in just a moment. Now a play fake here on first down. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
A second down throw for Prescott. The completion good. This is Eric Ebron. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. His first catch of the game, good for 11 and a first down.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11. I'm no offensive mastermind, but of all the guys on the field to block, you might want to stop him.
Look, I've got a very simple rule. An unblocked defender is usually your best defender, and he ended up making the play there.
And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
That's how you get right up off of the mat, because on the last play, they stoned him in the backfield and dropped him for a loss. But he's the type of guy that scared me a little bit because he's not daunted. Just got right back up, showed some confidence, and picked up a first down with his very next run.
And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
On second down, Elliott. And he'll get a little over 2, maybe a full 3 down to the 32-yard line.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Oh, Prescott stripped. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but if the other team doesn't get it, that's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
A first down carry by Elliott. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage. Back at the 17. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Now Prescott got his man complete over the middle. It's Powell. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line.
That's it, baby.
Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Prescott from the gun on 3rd. And this is caught. It's Cooper. And he's brought down. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help, because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this, and hey, you know, how you guys didn't come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
I didn't offer mine.
You know, you were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
Well, you throw it this close to the goal line, usually you're thinking touchdown. Here they actually complete it but lose yardage.
When you're this close to the...
Trying to get it to Ebron, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 11. He's at the 50, the 30, 10, and they will score. It's a pick 6 for the Cardinals touchdown. Short throw, pick 6 right there. Those linebackers, they love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
Dan Bailey now for the extra point. Extra point up and good by Bailey. And the lead grows to 10-0. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And now here come the Cowboys. And following the pick 6, and they have decent field position in throwing that pick 6. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told us they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit.
And he lost the football. And this is recovered by the Cardinals.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense.
We got three down.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
So the challenge comes in inside of 2 minutes, and it gets overturned.
And it changes the whole format of what's about to happen because both sides had thought a certain call had been made. Now they have to flip back and start over.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10. They'll start the drive with Elliott. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. The Cowboys going to use their second timeout now as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Second down, Prescott. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that and have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory. One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense...
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off down at the 10. He's at the 50, 30, 20, and they will score. It's a pick six for the Cardinals touchdown. So a dangerous pass over the middle into zone coverage, and it bit him hard.
And what's really difficult when you throw it in that direction and versus that zone, that means the linebackers have gotten to their spot, gotten their heads back around, and they can see the quarterback and everything in front of them. And they took big advantage of it, went the other direction, excellent blocking, and picked up a touchdown.
Here's Bailey now for the extra point. Bailey got the extra point, and that makes our score 17-0. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The clock showing just 16 seconds till the half as they line up 1st and 10. Back to it after the pick six. Prescott. And that's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left. The safety, Buda Baker, there to force the incompletion. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. False start's going to push him back, but these days, how hard must it be to be an offensive lineman?
It's very hard, Brandon. You've got defensive linemen flinching, trying to draw you offside. You get the loud crowds, and there are just so many super athletic players on defense now that you have to deal with each week. But through it all, these guys just sit in there for 4 quarters and slug it out.
So after the penalty, heading in the wrong direction, 2nd and 15. After the penalty, it's Elliott. And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down. So we have reached halftime with the visiting Cardinals out. And we will skip the highlight show this week. Get right back to this Week 3 matchup. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Out come the Cowboys now as they'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott. And, he took that in one-handed. What a grab. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
What a catch and one-handed, and I'm starting to lose my awe about the play, and maybe I shouldn't. How much of this is the player?
Oh, Elliott going to be hit. He coughs it up. Loose football. And this is recovered by the Cardinals. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. Didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
And now running right through it. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. They'll look to throw now on first down. And Matthews has it right side. Had a nice broken tackle and then brought down right around the 20. A gain of 6 there on first.
Always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
It's a nice pickup at 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90. Hot.
He'll look to throw. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
They'll set up to throw. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. A touchdown-saving tackle there. Now it's 3rd and goal.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well, and he will score. Touchdown, Cardinals. It's their quarterback, his 6th touchdown of the season, and the Cardinals now adding on to their lead. Bailey now for the extra point.
And no matter how it comes about, when you get good field position, you have to make the defense pay. Short fields usually make for good offense.
Bailey now to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise it's going to be a long day for you.
Now Dak on the option left. And maybe the wrong read there as he's going to go down immediately. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. And yet again, this run game just continues to be completely shut off.
Completely stymied. I mean, they're trying to get some consistency, trying to find places to roam. They just haven't.
And coughed it up. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. You've probably talked about since training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. There's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
They knocked it free, but couldn't take it away. He was a 3rd-round pick, not rounds 1 or 2, but this franchise, they think he can be something with time.
There were a few teams that thought he would go in the 1st round, late in the 1st round. He ends up sliding to the 3rd. So a lot of teams think now maybe this group got a steal. They've got a chance to have a really good player here if he can develop.
They added a lot of talent to a roster that really needed an infusion of youth. They got a very good infusion of youth.
And they didn't really reach to get anyone as well. They stuck to their draft philosophy, got the best players they could at the time they were drafting, and inserted them into their lineup.
1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Arlington. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. Looking to throw. Prescott. They'll set up the screen to Elliott. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. Only 2 on the screen pass there, and it'll be 4th down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
And he won't get there. They stop him a few yards short of the line to gain. Tackle there by James Looney, the former Cal Bear. Being just short of midfield, they decide to take a crack at it on 4th down. They don't come through.
Sometimes it's just showing confidence in your defense. You know that they're good, and they'll take care of you. A lot of coaches during the week will announce to their team, we're going to be aggressive, guys. We're going to go for it. Hey, defense, you got me? A little bit of a challenge to them to see if they'll pick up the rest of the team.
We'll see how they respond now. They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. They'll set up a throw. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10.
Detroit! Detroit!
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. And an alley to run. Still going. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. And on the ground they go with the running back. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Down at the 2. Broke through first contact, but ultimately stopped shy of the goal line. Good gain there on 1st down. It keeps them in a running situation probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds and keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively. Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. Still searching for that first interception in this game and down on the scoreboard. Remember, they won last week, and a big reason why they had 3 picks.
And one characteristic I've always noticed about great defenses is that they want to be the ones that have a huge impact on the game and actually lead their teams to victory. So you just noted 3 interceptions last week and they won. A little extra pressure that they're feeling right now because they haven't gotten those interceptions in this game, and they're losing.
And Bailey able to knock it through. And the lead increases even further. It's 27-0 now. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Now the Cowboys offense heads back onto the field. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. But good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
To the right side to Eric Ebron. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Here we go. Wide eight.
A 2nd down throw for Prescott. And boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble.
We just saw another example of really good defensive football, which has led to the cushion that they have in this game. Got to him once again, knocked him on the ground, forced an incompletion.
Yeah, they've set the tone. It's one thing to set the tone, another to come in here on the road and set the tone. Yeah, he will be knocked down hard, but he will have the first down. That catch puts him over 70 yards receiving now as he's got a first down.
Brandon, that's a tough guy right there. He knew that was going to happen. In other words, he had to absorb that hit. How about him securing the football, turning the legs a little bit, and gaining what he needed for a first down?
Well, that's the deal. On third down, these guys, they know where the sticks are. He obviously knew right there.
And if you want to be a dependable third down receiver, you've got to be willing to absorb those types of hits and make those sort of plays. Nice game there, partner, but you and I both know that won't do anything for the final score. They're not going to win this one. Right now, they're playing for pride and fantasy points.
And just to erase that goose egg, nobody wants to be shut out. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Prescott yet again. He's got a man. That's caught. Left sideline. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. Give him 30 yards there. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
It's a loss of 10 yards on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and goal. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. Prescott now on 2nd down. Oh, Prescott stripped. But I believe a Cowboy was there to get it. He was, and Dallas will maintain possession. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. To throw is Prescott. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And they will score. It's a pick 6 for the Cardinals touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
Extra point try by Bailey. Extra point up and good by Bailey. And that will extend this big lead. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest,
don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
Prescott to throw it. But he hits his tight end, Ebron. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a first down.
There's a completion to the tight end, and I think that we're looking at something out of central casting, frankly.
Absolutely. I mean, size, the hands.
Speed. I mean, can flat out run. You put that whole package together, You light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you?
They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. One last shot now for Prescott. Ebron's got it. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. So, Charles, are able to complete what so often seems to be elusive, a shutout in the NFL. And maybe what's fitting is they ended the game on the field, that defensive unit on the field. What an exclamation mark.
And probably felt like they could go another 60 minutes without anyone putting points on the board against them. That's the confidence you gain throughout when you're pitching a shutout. And they're going to leave the stadium feeling like they're all 10 feet tall.
So for the Cards, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Jacksonville to take on the Jaguars. Meanwhile, for Dallas, they'll fall to 1-2. And they'll look to get back in the winning column next week as they head to Philly to face off with the Eagles. So that'll do it. For my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry, I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say good night from AT&T Stadium.
You know what they say. Something's got to give. It's the coach, and this is the 2018 season on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see two teams, each riding a 3-game win streak, as it'll be the Arizona Cardinals as they get set to square off against the Jacksonville Jaguars. With that, let's get on up to Jacksonville. Standing by for the call, it's our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Sunshine State in TIAA Bank Field here in Jacksonville. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it, this crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Arizona Cardinals and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you look at this Jaguar team. They come in on a pretty good roll here, winners of 3 straight. Meanwhile, for the visiting Cardinals here, we're in October now, so everybody should be coming into form, shouldn't they?
They really should, and what you have now is a full routine established about what you want to get done and full focus on the season.
A pair of 3-0 teams set to lock horns for the right to remain unbeaten. And we're off in week 4. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. They go play action here on first down. On the crossing route, complete. That's McGee. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 23 yards on the play. So on that play, defense was in the zone. They ran a crossing route offensively, but the defense there, you got to be good with communication, don't you?
You certainly do, and it's not something that is really evident when you watch it on the screen. But everyone's talking, communicating, pointing, and it keeps you from chasing receivers because you have a specific zone you have to cover. When a receiver's in your zone and he crosses to another one, you got to let your guy know. They got a completion there, but I like the discipline they showed to stay in their proper areas and then make the tackle.
On the ground, this is Leonard Fournette, and he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there, second down. And the offensive unit now for the Jaguars.
Let's take a look at tight end Austin Safarian-Jenkins, or ASJ as his friends and all announcers like to call him because it's a whole lot easier. Second tight end drafted in 2014, but production was really lacking until 2017 with the New York Jets. Had 50 catches, which was more in his 2+ combined years with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
What's the old adage, be quick but don't hurry? Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
So here are the Cardinals now with a long field ahead. And trotting out there, their tall quarterback standing at 6'5".
And what's a quarterback's best friend?
Balance?
I think you're right. I agree with you. You know, a lot of guys would say great receiver, right? A terrific offensive line. But I agree with you, balance, because if you can run the ball effectively, that just opens things up for guys who want to throw it and gives you easier passing lanes and easier coverages to read.
And they said balance will be a focus in this one.
Yeah, they don't want it all just heaped on his shoulders, I don't believe. I think they want to make sure they take some of the...
Does the big boy have the juice? He's at the 40, past the 20. Touchdown, Cardinals. A great effort there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Cardinals have taken the early lead. They blitzed defensively there, but he was able to slip through that first layer, and then he was gone.
I think they won the leverage game, didn't they?
Yes.
Right? They saw the blitz coming. That got to him a little bit, but they leveraged it perfectly and found not just a crease, a gigantic hole. And off he goes, and he's still going all the way to the end zone.
Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
Well, look now at the defensive starters for the Cardinals. They were very good in the win over Dallas a week ago.
Even better than that, they pitched a shutout in that game, and I'm telling you, that is a confidence builder and a trust builder on both sides. And what I mean by that is coaching staff putting together a game plan, players executing it. Now both of them are in sync.
Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Play fake. Here's Dalton. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. He got 29 yards that time. Nice completion there for Andy Dalton. Charles, you worked some of his games when he was at TCU. Now you've worked his games in the NFL. What progression have you seen?
I've seen a guy who took over as a freshman in college and got better and better each year. Always added a little bit more to his game, gets stronger. But the best part about him is he's always been accurate.
The rushing numbers for Fournette from last week, 20 carries, 70 yards.
And well-liked by his teammates. In fact, I got on good authority, even though I'm not an investigative reporter, that in their team meeting this week, the offensive line stood up and said, Coach, we've got to have better yardage for this guy. He's number 9 in the league. He's got to be in the top 3 before the season's over. Let's run the ball.
And Dalton to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Buda Baker with a pick. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line.
And Brandon, the passing game for both of these teams is going to be affected as the game goes along. It's not looking like the rain's going to let up anytime soon. So that might mean a few more wobbly passes and wide receiver slips. And this one winds up getting intercepted.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now a handoff looking right. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. He'll be dropped shy of the 40 despite an excellent display of footwork. Only a gain of a couple there. That leaves them needing about 7 here on 3rd down. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Steps away to his left. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
That's something you have to be aware of as a defense and have to find a way to account for him. And if you're not going to use a spy, you're telling your guys to keep your eyes on him, because when he breaks out and makes plays like that, all he does is hurt you.
Have to at least be able to contain him somewhat. There they could not.